call and a suspect's car run off the road.
Can your scores go to
As officers move in, the suspect emerges and opens fire.
From that point on, it was pretty much a reaction of instinct and training.
July 7th, 2008, Ponderay, Idaho. A security camera at a local liquor store captures a man leaving without paying for 3 bottles of whiskey. When confronted by a store employee, the man flees. The store clerk calls police and is connected to Corporal Crystal Horvath, who is at the police station just a few blocks away.
I drove around a little bit looking for a vehicle that matched the description I was given, and when I found it, I was actually able to initiate a traffic stop.
With her dash cam recording, Corporal Horvath pulls the SUV over, but it's apparent that this will not be a typical traffic stop.
The gentleman that was driving it actually got out of the vehicle almost immediately, and he had something in his hand, sort of looked like a billy club, maybe 12 inches long. I couldn't really understand anything he was saying, and then he yelled at me, and he yelled no. And that was the only thing I actually could understand that he said. And then he got back in his car and he drove away. And so I continued to follow him at that point, and I requested Chief Hutter to come assist.
What starts as a shoplifting call escalates into a car chase. Chief Michael Hutter joins the pursuit.
Upon catching up to the suspect vehicle, it was traveling a low rate of speed. That is probably not typical, but we've seen it happen before where people just refuse to stop.
He didn't stop at stop signs, which is normal for pursuits, but at 20 miles an hour, you're still just like, are we really in pursuit?
You got your video going, I'm going to try and do a rolling roadblock.
I decided to initiate a rolling roadblock, which is a maneuver where I would take the police vehicle, pass the suspect, and basically block his path while we're driving along, and then start slowing down until finally come to a complete stop.
But the plan doesn't work.
Subject swerved when I was trying to do a rolling roadblock.
And the chase revs up as the suspect leads police behind businesses and through a vacant lot. Then, onto the highway. The suspect makes it known to Chief Hutter exactly what he thinks of the pursuit.
The subject just gave me the bird off the driver's window.
Chief Hutter calls for more units and comes up with a plan.
I had spoken with the deputies involved in pursuit and advised them that if we arrived in a straight stretch of roadway with no traffic approaching, that we're going to attempt a rolling roadblock again.
With dash cam rolling, Sheriff's Deputy Mitch Parnell is directly behind the suspect's SUV.
Chief Hutter came around my patrol unit and was attempting to pass the suspect vehicle. It appeared it was his intention to ram Chief Hutter off the road.
The initial thing that went through my mind when he was ramming off the road was I was in a bigger vehicle and I should be pushing him in the ditch and him not pushing me in the ditch. It was a little surprising. He had a better angle on my vehicle, and that's why he was able to do it.
Deputy Parnell stops right behind the SUV and approaches the passenger door.
I saw the passenger side door open slightly. Then it opened more fully, and I could see a man's head, his hand, and a gun in his hand.
The suspect fires one shot, coming within an inch of hitting Deputy Parnell.
As the suspect fired, I felt a puff of air by my neck. I also felt a tug at my collar. The bullet went through the side of my collar and punched a hole in the back of my patrol uniform. We fired almost simultaneously. I was moving at the time. That was probably what saved my life, and continued to engage the subject, while I was moving as well.
At that same moment, Chief Hutter, who is trapped in his truck, deploys his taser.
I was able to aim my taser through my rear passenger window, through his driver's window, which he had opened to previously flip me off, and able to tase the suspect in the back.
In this video, taken from a camera mounted on the taser, you can see the suspect attempting to open his passenger door as Chief Hutter fires.
Suspect's being tased!
It's a direct hit.
I could see that the probe struck him in the lower back. He immediately stiffened up, and so I could see that was working. When I ultimately turned the taser off, then the suspect slumped back into the driver's seat of his vehicle came to a stop.
Deploying his taser when he did may have prevented the suspect from firing more rounds and may have saved Deputy Parnell.
He fired 1 round prior to the taser being deployed and no rounds after that.
Watch again as the suspect's gun appears through the opening car door. Deputy Parnell manages to get off 12 rounds as other officers also unload into the back of the SUV.
I fired at the only target that I had, which was his head, the facial area, and the gun hand that was exposed.
As units converge on the SUV, it becomes apparent that the shots Deputy Parnell fired have been fatal.
Deputy Parnell was very fortunate. The suspect missed hitting him in the throat by less than an inch.
I thought the whole incident was a pretty senseless act to go to the drastic measures and take the actions that the suspect did just for stealing a few bottles of liquor. I'm not really sure what he was thinking.
If he would have just stopped and given up, he was looking at misdemeanor charges, not even felony charges.